So the movie begins while showing a house. It belongs to a man named Artemis. He wasn't at his home. At the same time, police come to his house and they find precious things from his house. They think that Artemis had stolen these things. He ran from here. Maybe he had stolen this from the museum. They search for Artemis, but they couldn't find him. They find a giant man instead of him. They arrest him and then the police take him to the unit to investigate him about it. How does he know Artemis? Did he really steal the things? He says that I don't know about it. But once there was a robbery at Artemis's house. It means some things were stolen from Artemis's house. None other than his son done the robbery. Then the police say, talk us to the point. How can his own son steal his own house things? That giant man says that if you don't want to believe me, so don't. But before it, let me tell you one thing. That was about Artemis's son. Artemis's son was intelligent but ill-mannered. He uses to fight with everyone in the school. He doesn't respect anyone, not even the principal. All were annoyed by him and also shocked because of this habit of him. They couldn't say anything to him because he obtained high marks. His son was attached to his father Artemis. Artemis tells stories to his son every day. Those were mostly fairy tales. Artemis's son was also interested in them, but Artemis was busy almost. Whenever he gets the time, he tells the story to his son. But one day he urgently goes somewhere. He couldn't stop even his son stop him. After it, Artemis goes from there. When Artemis's son wakes up, he sees his son. He was a special member of their house. He was talking to someone on the phone that Artemis couldn't reach there today. The place he was going. This thing seems strange to Artemis's son. He instantly turns on the news. It was the news that Artemis is kidnapped on his way because there is blame on him. Someone put blame on him that he has done many robberies. They were telling that Artemis has done a huge robbery, that it is not easy for an ordinary thief. Those were the precious things. Artemis's son didn't believe this. When the phone rings and Artemis's son receives the call, an unknown person on the call has kidnapped the speaker's father, Artemis. He says to Artemis's son that I have your father. I will not leave him till you search Aculos for me. Artemis's son couldn't understand anything, and he goes to the bodyguard. He asks him that, do you know what is Aculos? He says that no, I don't know, but let me take you to the basement where your father did research. Your ancestors also have done research there. It means his grandfather and his father. It is very strong research, because it is going on for many years. When Artemis's son goes to the basement with a bodyguard, he comes to know that there were fairies in the old era. Fairies were removed after the fight with the humans. They were not understanding that where is Aculos? The bodyguard says that maybe he has written about it in his diary, but I don't know where the diary is. Maybe he took his diary with him. Artemis's son says that no, if he had taken with him so the man will not call me. That diary will be here, somewhere. When Artemis's son searches for the diary, he finds it. Artemis's son starts reading the diary. There was clearly written about Aculos in it. It was stated that the phrase, time to believe, must be understood. Maybe he has written this about fairies. Here the scene changes and we see the place where fairies live. They were flying freely. That place was magical and attractive. There we see a girl named Holly Short. She was the police head of that place. She arrests that giant man, but she was also his friend. There we see one more fairy wearing the hood. We couldn't see her face, and she also had imprisoned a male fairy. Now she comes to him and says that I will release you in one condition. If you go to Fairy's world and let me know everything, and tell me that what are fairies doing there? The biggest thing is to bring Aculos for me from there. In fact, Aculos was a magical thing, from which any human or anything can teleport in any part of the world. In Fairy's world, we see a lady commander. She is more than 800 years old. She was aged. She says to everyone that you have to search for Aculos. The spy of that evil fairy who wears the hood was also there. It means the male fairy whom she sent as a detective. He also hears what the commander said. Meanwhile, Holly Short comes to that commander. She says that I have to search for my father, but the commander says not now. On another side, we see Artemis's son and the bodyguard. They were searching for Aculos. Bodyguard brings his daughter also there, so that she can help Artemis's son, and then they start talking. Artemis's son says to the girl that my father told me about a place. Fairies will come there someday. We have to search for that place. On another side, we see that Commander allows Holly Short to go to that place, because none was there to go there. Meanwhile, that spy fairy comes there. He says to that commander that Holly Short went to that place after insisting on you. Her father also deceived you. She also doesn't obey you. The commander says that there is nothing like that. She is gone with my permission. On another side, we see an event like a marriage ceremony. Everyone was dancing, but then a huge, giant creature comes there. Holly Short tries to fight with it, but she couldn't defeat it. On another side, in the fairies world, everyone can see this, so they freeze that place. After it, Holly Short does magic on all of them. After it, they don't remember anything. She takes that creature with her. Holly Short had to depart for another location, as ordered by the commander. But to search for her father, she goes to the place where her father was at last time. She takes her turn to that place. Artemis's son was also there, was waiting for her. He imprisoned her. He takes her to his home and locks her in a cage, and everyone wears glasses to talk to her, so that the fairy couldn't see into their eyes, because she hypnotizes anyone with her eyes. On the other side, everyone was worried in fairyland. They try to bring Holly Short back. Meanwhile, they decide to send their fairies to Artemis's home. They freeze the time of that place, but it couldn't affect Artemis's son and that bodyguard. All fairies come and attack them, but Artemis's son says that stop. Can we talk calmly? If you will not listen to me, so I will tell your reality to the whole world. On another side, that evil fairy was also seeing all this. The fairy with a hood had kidnapped Artemis. She says to Artemis that, "What is your son doing? He is ruining this plan. He doesn't know that your life is in danger." From here, the scene shifts to that commander who calls that giant man. She says that you know that soon you will get punishment. But still, we didn't say anything to you. We will decrease your punishment if you will help us. Now we see Artemis's son who was talking to that fairy. She asks that, "Can you help me in searching for Aculos? Because the evil fairy had kidnapped my father." Holly Short says that, "No, I can't help you. It is a risk for your life also." She tells him about her father. She tells him that according to my knowledge, my father also died while robbing Aculos. "But still, I want to search for him, but you don't take this risk." Artemis's son says that, "Don't scare me because I know everything. Your father didn't deceive anyone, but he wanted to see fairies and humans together. He wants to save their world. He was really a good human." Holly Short likes it and she becomes the friend of Artemis's son. The female commander has ordered that giant man to go to Artemis's house, and you have to search and bring Aculos from there, because that Aculos is there. Now that giant man reaches Artemis' house. As he opens the locker, Aculos was in front. He becomes happy after seeing it. Meanwhile, Artemis's son and Holly Short arrive there. But till then, that giant man has shown everything to the evil fairy with the lens in his eye. The evil fairy says her spy to go to that place instantly. Now that spy moves and he also arrests the commander, so that she can't do anything. Then they move there with their army. They also have released that monster. Holly Short had taken it with her from that event. That monster attacks them. But now the giant man who has seen the Aculos, he joins with Artemis's son and Holly Short and attacks them. Now that monster was about to hold Aculos, but that giant man puts Aculos in his mouth to keep it safe. Now we see that the monster hangs on the light on the roof, means with a chandelier. Artemis's son was exactly under it. Before that monster falls on Artemis's son, his bodyguard instantly protects him. Now he was injured because the monster fell on the bodyguard instead of Artemis's son. Holly Short instantly makes that bodyguard fine. Now the time starts freezing and everyone was moving from there, but Holly Short doesn't move from there. She instantly goes to Artemis's son. She says that, "I know that the human can't use Aculos, but you have to bring your father back, so I will use it for you." Now they all sit around a table. Holly Short holds the Aculos. Holly Short does magic and some lights come out from the Aculos. Artemis's son becomes happy that now my father will come. A lot of time was passed, but his father didn't appear. Holly Short becomes sad and she says, "Artemis's son, sorry, I tried my best." But then he hears a voice as his father is in the basement. He instantly goes to the basement, and his father was there in the basement. He hugs him. Seeing it, the evil fairy gets jealous. Because of the task, she couldn't do these kids done this. Artemis's son tells his father that she is Holly Short, and she is my friend. She came from a fairyland. His father says that, "Yes, my son, I know her. Her father was a good human." He goes to Holly Short and says that your father was a good human. He has done all this to save others' life. He gave that Aculos to me and he never deceives anyone. Otherwise, I tell you the name of the deceivers. He gives her a list and says that show it to your commander, you will be at ease. Now Holly Short does the same. The commander starts searching for the deceivers one by one. On another side, we see Artemis. He says to his son that my second mission is started. I will go there soon. His son says that, "Father, I will come with you," and he goes outside and calls evil fairy. He says that, "Get ready, me and my father are coming to kill you." With it, we see them going on the mission. Here this movie ends. Thanks for watching.